Yo, what is up, fellow YouTubers? This is Seth, the Imperial Riff Lord, signing on for my first ever gear demo. I want to say thank you to everybody who has subscribed, commented, and tuned in, largely due to that video I did close to 5 years ago on how to tune a Floyd Rose for newbies. It has received 80,000 plus views. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated. So I had a student last week. Let's get right to it. The videos that just go on and on and on and don't get right to the point drive me nuts, so I don't want to be that guy. But I had a student last week who bought the Digitech drop pedal and did not know how to use it. So I thought, why not? This is a perfect opportunity for me to show people how to use this thing. So I use it all the time. It is a beautiful, beautiful device. So let's get right into it. So as far as our controls, we have the power switch. We have the dial that puts you at whatever interval you want the pedal to detune to. When you go here, it's half step down, whole step, step and a half, 2 steps. I'm sorry. Half step, whole step, step and a half, 2 steps, 2.5 steps, 3 steps, 3.5 steps. Then you have octave below that drops your entire guitar down an entire octave, makes it sound just like a bass. Then you have the octave plus dry. That's an octaver effect, which adds another octave on top of your guitar when it's naturally tuned to. Then you have the momentary switch. So when you turn this on, the effect of the detuning, or whatever it's set to, will only come on when you step on it. So as you step off of it, it turns off. It's like a switchless wah kind of thing. So let's get into how to use this thing. Okay, so we've gone over the controls, and I don't believe this pedal takes a battery at all, and you wouldn't want to use one with it anyway. I never use batteries with pedals because they just get sucked dry, just like that. Use a power supply. It's not that hard, and it will save you a ton of money in the long run. So keep in mind, when you use this pedal, it's going to detune your guitar in half-step increments all the way down to drop A. And it's very faithful, it's very realistic sounding, but you got to remember that whatever your guitar is naturally tuned to, like right now I'm just in E standard, so whatever I tune that to, it's going to just drop that down a half step. So you can't just do drop D or a couple of strings. You have to retune the entire guitar to the same exact interval distance, and it only goes down. So let's get right into it. So right now I'm in E standard. Standard E minor chord. I'm going to hit the pedal. I'm on the first setting, so that's going to drop me down a half step. Little Wasp, the idol for you. Because that whole album is tuned down a half step. That's the main tuning that band uses. But very, very convincing that you would never know using this thing that it wasn't physically detuned a half step. So it's very great. This is a spark positive grit that I'm playing through. Not my favorite tone. Only real critique of the pedal I have is that the clean tones tend to be a little too processed sounding. And when you're using this thing on a clean sound, you will be able to hear the natural tuning of the guitar underneath the digital recreation of the tuning, or reprocessing, or however you want to say it, but you know what I mean. So the louder you play, the more believable it is. At a lower volume, it doesn't sound as convincing. Let me turn up a little bit. If I need D standard, I just tune the thing another notch down. And then it goes all the way down to drop A. You just got to remember which one you're on. So now I'm going to do the same 2 tunings with a heavy gain tone. You literally cannot tell. Just notice this guitar has some kind of a coil split or something. It's got a push pot on it. But here's my 5150 setting. Half step down. cannot tell it's not physically detuned. Go into a whole step down. Again, same thing. Heavy gain tone. You literally cannot tell. You can barely tell when it's tuned to a clean sound. It's just less authentic, but not by a considerable amount. All right, so now I have the pedal on the octave down setting. So this is what gives you the option to use this as a reasonably suitable bass guitar. Pardon that last view. It's a very impromptu video. But you can tell just from that last little clip that I played, it's very convincing as a bass. I'm playing in a band right now where I'm doing R&B songs and trying to play the chords along with the keyboardist when there's no actual guitar parts on the records. We're doing SWV songs, Anita Baker, Pharrell Williams and stuff like that, where it's more appropriate for me to play bass because the keyboards are handling all of the harmony stuff. So it's very convincing. It does the job. It's not 100% authentic, but it does the job well enough for you to be able to use it on a recording or in a live situation, and you don't have to bring an actual bass. It's absolutely beautiful. So now you can see that I've got the pedal on the octave plus dry setting. So this just adds an extra octave above whatever note you're playing to the existing one. So on my open string, very science fiction-y tone. Makes for a cool octave pedal. It only has the one feature. You can't do anything other different with it. Unlike like the Poly Blue Octave from MXR, I had one of those briefly. Really cool pedal. But this does give you that feature without having to, buy another pedal for it. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to use this pedal in another way. And it's not that you're using the pedal any differently, because the thing that you want to keep in mind is that it's got to be tuned. It's going to detune whatever your guitar is naturally tuned to. So let's get into it. So right now I'm tuned to drop D. A lot of people tune down to drop C sharp, right? So drop C sharp is literally the same exact thing, interval distance wise, just half step lower. So I'm on the first slot of the pedal, I'm in drop D. Now I'm in drop C sharp. I go down another notch, because my E string is tuned naturally a whole step below. It's in drop D. Now I'm on the notch number 2 on the pedal, and drop C instantly. So this is one of those things that you got to be smarter than the pedal, because I've said it a couple of times already, but just keep in mind that it's literally whatever your guitar is physically tuned to, this pedal is going to react and drop it down to whatever interval distance you have it set to. So if I drop it down all the way to A on slot number 7, yeah, it's going to ring to G on this low string. Okay, so now you can see I'm using a guitar with a Floyd on it, a floating bridge. We know how much of a pain in the ass these are to retune, now don't we? I've had many people on my comment thread on the Floyd Rose How to Tune One video ask, how do I get my guitar set up in drop A, drop B, whatever. With this pedal, you do not need it. You don't need to mess around with getting the screwdriver out and adjusting the springs and the claw and string gauges, nothing. Same exact thing. Beautiful thing, no matter what kind of guitar you use, because you don't have to mess around with, so you want to tune down to drop A, or even lower if you naturally tune it lower, but you don't have to mess around with getting your guitar set up in a different tuning and getting the bridge and the neck and everything adjusted, or trying to figure out what string gauge works best for this low heavy tuning, because this pedal just does it so beautifully. So right now I'm in standard tuning. Now I'm in half step down. Now I'm gonna go to whole step down. You cannot tell it's not visibly detuned. And on a floating bridge like this, any kind of floating bridge, but especially a Floyd, where they freak out once you detune them even a little bit until you get them dialed in and they actually settle into the tuning, this pedal eliminates all of those problems. And your fingers don't have to get used to a different string gauge tension either. Because I know when I tune lower than I'm used to, my hands aren't used to it, and I overbend until I get used to that tension. It takes a while to adjust. Not with this pedal. It is a beautiful, wonderful invention. I use it all the time. So that's a run through of all the features and some of the benefits of using it, as well as how to get into drop C sharp and drop C and lower. The only con to this pedal I can think of is that I don't think that the clean tone is as great as the dirty tones are, just because it's not quite as believable, but it's negligible. It's not anything that makes me not want to use it, because it works so well. Only someone with a really picky and finely tuned ear like myself is going to know. It's like people talk about the modeling thing. You know, the audience members are not going to know it's not a real amp. Only you're going to know that. And I'm getting into that world a little bit too. So thanks for the use. Well, thank you to Ken Steiger, who I named this guitar after. What's up, brother? Thought it'd be a good one to use for this video. It's an amazing guitar anyway. But so yeah, if you are looking at making your life 100 million times easier, if you have a floating bridge or a Floyd, or you're just wanting to detune without any of the problems that go, and the difficulties and the expense and headaches that go with doing that naturally, depending on the type of guitar, the type of bridge, the type of setup, just do yourself a favor and get one of these pedals. You will be so happy you did so. So thanks for tuning in. If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. I'm sorry it took me so long to get around to doing a gear demo, but I'm having fun here, so I think it's a good idea. I keep doing them. I've got lots of pedals and lots of other guitars and pickups I can do that with. So let me know what you'd like to see more of on here. So if you like this content, again, please hit the subscribe button, and we will see you on the next one. Imperial Riff Lord signing off.